What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run It Up podcast here on the Rise Network. I'm your host, Najee Adams. Last episode you heard, I only had Khalil. This episode, I only have one. I have the other kid. I've got Justice Gregory with me today. My son Khalil, he wanted to be here so bad. He really wanted to be here to talk NBA trade deadline, but he had a little bit of prior engagements, but he'll be back on the next one. How you doing, Justice?
I'm swell.
You weren't on the last pod. There's so many questions I asked Chloe that I would have. Did you listen to the last pod?
Not yet, but I will.
Damn. Okay. So you just don't even listen to your own podcast.
I'm a busy guy, bro.
Cool. There's so many things I asked Chloe on that pod that I wanted to ask you, like open-ended questions, but I'll just ask you another time. Today was the day of the NBA trade deadline. We're currently recording this. The trade deadline was at 3. It is.
Hold on, Naj. Hold on.
Okay. That was loud as fuck. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm back. Mm-hmm. And I come bearing gifts.
Oh, okay.
And I want this to go on TikTok.
Okay.
As Bill Simmons would say, turn the TikTok camera on.
The TikTok camera's on because I'm the nigga. I didn't mean to say that word. Fuck. I'm the one that holds it.
Okay. So TikTok camera. If you're listening to this and you happen to be a sports card collector, even if you're not, if you will find me on Twitter and prove to me that you are following the pod on TikTok, on Twitter, on Instagram, and are subbed on YouTube, and you're following Naj, Khalil, and me on at least one of those social media platforms, you prove it. I'll give you an option of any of these cards. I'm gonna do a little giveaway. So you'll find me on Twitter, DM me, show me. You can get a Luka Doncic numbered to 99. All right. I've got another Luka numbered. Okay. I don't even know if y'all can see this. I got a Trey Man auto jersey patch. If you're interested, I got a Jericho Sims. You shouldn't be interested. So listen.
So basically, you get a Luka.
So you get a Luka, and what I'm saying, you'll get a Luka. You know what? I'll be generous. All of them. You can have all of them. You just gotta prove it to me. I'll do a little giveaway, put in a little scramble. So if you find this on TikTok, follow us on the socials. Do what you gotta do. Prove it to me, and then we'll put your name in.
Anyway. I respect that. You gotta put that on Twitter, bro. Put that shit on Twitter too.
No, it'll hit Twitter, and maybe one day we'll get real big. Maybe I'll start throwing out the Austin Reeves auto. And
shit. Oh, he's pulling that shit out now. So, yeah, you gotta throw that on Twitter. Once we get to episode 100, we're doing a giveaway. We're on 61 right now. So
what's not being given away is this right here.
Yeah, that's the D-Lo jersey patch joint. Yeah, I ain't even gonna spoil it today. Well, I guess that happened yesterday, right? Yesterday was a good day for me and Justice. I want that to be clear. But yeah, make sure you do all that good shit that Justice said. Subscribe to the pod on Apple Podcasts. Leave the 5-star rating and review. Follow me on Twitter at @NajeeAdams_. Justice on Twitter at JustFitted. Khalil on Twitter at Below44. And the pod on Twitter at Run It Up Pod. And make sure you follow us on TikTok too at the Run It Up Podcast. Now, the trade deadline was at 3. Ended at 3. It's currently 7:36. So we are 4 hours and 30 minutes removed from the NBA trade deadline. Dare I say the greatest NBA trade deadline, the greatest trade deadline in NBA history. I can't remember a trade deadline where shit was going like this. So we have to recap it. We were originally going to talk Super Bowl, but the trade deadline looked like it was going to be dead. So we were like, all right, cool. This is the perfect time to talk Super Bowl a couple of days before. But we just got overwhelmed with the trade deadline. Before we do Song of the Week, just to satisfy our Super Bowl craving, let's just say our Super Bowl winners. I had the Eagles winning. I'm not going to give you stats to back that up, but I just think that they're just a better team in more facets of the game than the Chiefs. We saw what Pat Mahomes had to do his last Super Bowl, where the Bucs just overwhelmed him with the defensive line. Granted, the Chiefs' offensive line is better at this point in time than it was back then, but that Eagles defensive line might be one of the best you've ever seen in NFL history. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Eagles. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it.
If I was a betting man, and I'm not a betting man, typically.
But if you do, use FanDuel.
Anyways, if I was a betting man, I would stay away from this because the Eagles are better at just about everything except for their quarterback play. And the guy on the other side of the field is Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not betting against Patrick Mahomes. But if I had to make a pick, life on the line, had to make a pick, I would go with the Eagles.
Boom. Justice had a whole bunch of stats that he read to me like a couple hours ago, but just know his pick is informed. He's not gonna ramble them off, but just know it's informed. It's
It is
informed. It's informed. We're gonna go through every meaningful deal, right? Like I'm not gonna sit here and talk about the Heat trading away Dwayne Dedmon. Like that, I'm not happy.
Why?
What do we do? Didn't they release him? Did the Spurs end up releasing him after? Yeah, so the trade deadline really kicked off when the man himself, Kyrie Irving, requested a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, I believe 4 days, maybe 5 days before the NBA trade deadline.
Pressure.
And they ended up moving him to, it was between the Mavs, the Lakers, the Clippers,
the
Suns. Yeah. And they ended up moving him to the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving and Markieff Morris for Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first, and a 2027 second and first. Now, it just so happens that they have played a game with Kyrie and they beat the Clippers. And they didn't look too bad. Granted, Luka didn't play, but they actually beat a pretty decent Clippers team that had Kawhi and PG. So, I mean, the Mavs are looking decent. What do you think about the deal, though, Justice?
I don't know how different it is than when we saw Harden and Kyrie playing together without Luka. I mean, without KD in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And if that's what because the obvious comparison for Luka has been on the high end LeBron, on the low end you're James Harden. Mm-hmm. I think he favors more towards Harden than he does towards LeBron. And people have made the LeBron Kyrie thing, and LeBron is so much better off ball than Luka. It's ridiculous. The cutter that LeBron was at that point in his career in Cleveland,
it's not even close.
Yeah, it's not. It's really not even close. And the back to the basket stuff, LeBron's one of the best screen setters of all time whenever he's playing meaningful basketball. And the danger that he is to slip off of screens and cut and then make a pass out of those reads. What LeBron does off the ball is not comparable for Luka. Granted, Kyrie is amazing off the ball player. He cuts. He's a phenomenal catch and shoot player. And if he catches it and he's going downhill, guess who's stopping him? Nobody. Luka this will be the first time, and I think we talked about this before, but this will be the first time he's played with a superstar. Porzingis was good. He's played with Jalen Brunson, who's an all-star level type of player. But Kyrie is a different talent than those two. And if I had to guess, they will be a tough out, but these two could never win a championship. And because I don't think that that's a championship style of basketball. Now what the Mavs played last night, if that's what the offense looks like, because there was a lot of motion in that offense last night, and I was really shocked. I don't really watch them when Luka's not playing a lot, but I had to catch the Kyrie debut. So, but if I get to watch it, and that's what their offense looks like, and Luka can find a way to be effective without the ball in his hands, and they're dangerous. That's two of the 20 best talents in basketball, 15 best talents in basketball. Kyrie on any night can be better than anybody. So
100% agree. I want to ask you, if you're like, do you feel like the trade itself, the Mavs giving up Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, the first and 2 seconds, do you feel like that was too much or the right amount for a guy that you don't know will stay past the end of the season? Right, because that was the thing that stopped a lot of teams from going all in for Kyrie, is that he's not been the most reliable guy, whether it be injury or off the court stuff. And like for example, the Lakers were willing to go all in for him if he was willing to sign a 2-year extension and not wait until the offseason to sign the max, because they didn't know if they would give all that up and then he would be like, you know what, I'm walking. Mm-hmm. But the Mavs ended up saying, listen, Mark Cuban was like, I don't care. I feel like we can win a chip now. Not only does it feel, not only did they go all in, but he felt like this was the opportunity to show Luka that they're serious about trying to build a contender around him. And so they went and got a guy in Kyrie Irving, who, as we just said, is a top 20 talent. And if I'm the Mavs, I do it. I don't regret it. Like whether Kyrie walks or not, I'm fine giving up. Like if we just lost out on Spencer Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney-Smith, 2 seconds and a first 6 years from now, I'm fine with that. I can live with that.
Yeah, the picks I'm not worried about, especially with how young Luka is. And the point you brought up about them proving to Luka that they're willing to give up things that are considered assets, regardless of what we think of Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, are considered assets in the NBA, to say like, hey, we're willing to go get you another guy at our own expense.
Now
Like,
it's up to you to see what you could do with it.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like we're willing to get you the other guy. And like you said, if Kyrie walks, well, he's off the books. Christian Wood's off the books. There they go. They've got another max spot ready to go, and they can go chase somebody in this terrible, terrible free agency class.
And I think that a lot of the talk behind like, will another guy want to go play with Luka? Let's say this Kyrie thing works out and he for some reason decides to walk, then you have other superstars have a sample size that they can look at and be like, all right, maybe it wouldn't be the worst thing to come to the Mavericks.
Yeah. I've always said I don't know what it looks like to play with Luka and to be his counter and to be his co-part. I do feel like it could end up being a Chris Paul, James Harden thing. And maybe that's your ceiling is the Western Conference Finals, because Luka himself has been to the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly.
So it's just about getting over that hump and winning championships. If this team came out of the West because Luka and Kyrie dominated for 4 straight, which Kyrie post LeBron has been a terrible playoff player. What's he like 22 point, like 22, 5 and 5 on pretty terrible efficiency, I think, with post LeBron, which is not what you're paying maximum money for ever. So I don't know. I don't know if this works out in the long run. Would I be completely blown away if they made it to the finals? No, I wouldn't have been when they made the trade, but now I would be. So, yeah.
Yeah. So my last question about this ends up being, do you think, all in all, do you think the Mavs are a contender, right? Because their starting lineup last game, at least the game they played with Kyrie, they started Kyrie, Josh Green, Reggie Bullock, THJ, and Dwight Powell. Now, I assume that they'll just take Josh Green out the starting lineup and insert Luka, and it'll be Kyrie, Luka, Reggie Bullock, THJ, Dwight Powell, and you bring like Josh Green and Christian Wood off the bench as they have been doing.
Jaden Hardy's coming off that bench.
Jaden Hardy. But I don't personally know if that's a contender to me.
No, they're not. They're not.
I don't think so. I'm not going to be the guy that sits here and says that.
But were they when they made the deal? Before everything else happened, are they contending at that point?
I don't think so either.
To at least get out of the West?
I think they were contending to get out of the West, but I don't think I believed that they were a chip team. I think I could see them winning a chip more now than I could 5 days ago. And granted, guys like Dorian Finney-Smith, real 3-and-D wings, I think he's shooting the worst percentage of his career over like the last 4 years. He's like 35%. But regardless, he still has gravity out there. That's the entire point of being a guy that can shoot the ball. Do teams respect you? That's all you need to create spacing. Yeah. And so teams respect him. That's all you need. And so to lose a guy like that, like 3-and-D wings are hard to come by. And so I'm not going to sit here and be like,
unless you're the Nets.
Unless you're the Nets, they got 5 of them. And so I'm not gonna sit here and say that Dorian Finney-Smith is the key to them winning a championship, but like losing a 3-and-D wing like him, I do think has some sort of negative impact on what they're going to be able to do. Now, granted, Kyrie probably makes up for a lot of that just in skill, but all in all, I don't think the Mavs are contenders. Now, the next big trade that happened to happen, we're probably going to be on this for the next 40 minutes, so y'all might as well go ahead and lock the fuck in. Because yesterday was probably the greatest day of my Laker fandom in definitely the last 2 years. Probably the greatest day since we won the chip was yesterday for me. The Los Angeles Lakers were in a 3-team deal. It was the Lakers, the Timberwolves, and the Jazz. The Lakers ended up getting D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, and Jared Vanderbilt. The Timberwolves got Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Juan Toscano Anderson, Damian Jones, and 3 seconds. And the Jazz got Russell Westbrook, who they intend to buy out, and the 2027 first-round pick, which is top 4 protected. And if it doesn't convey, it turns into a 2027 second. So let's just say the Lakers are trash in 2027. We're in the lottery and we get the 3rd pick in the draft. We fleece them and they get a second.
We fleece them anyways.
Yeah, I agree.
What are we talking about?
I agree.
So they gave up, and you're telling me this is the best package they could get. They gave up Mike Conley. They gave who else? Nikhil Alexander Walker, Jared Vanderbilt,
Malik Beasley.
and Malik Beasley for Russell Westbrook and a first that could just turn into a second.
Yeah,
for the guy they're gonna eventually just buy out.
Yeah, and like Danny Ainge obviously has a pretty bad reputation with the a relationship with the Lakers. So I'm shocked that he let us fleece him. And but like going up to like leading into the season, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, the Lakers are gonna have to give up 2 firsts to get off Russ's contract." Who's saying? No, they did it. They barely had to give up a first. I mean, granted, we gave up the first.
Yeah,
but like this is way better than I thought that we would end up doing. Now, we're going to get to the rest of the Lakers trades later, but actually, we should just go through them all right now and just say who we got.
Talk to me.
So, the Lakers deadline ended up, we sent out Kendrick Nunn, Russell Westbrook, Juan Toscano Anderson, Thomas Bryant, Damian Jones, and 1 first-round pick, which is top 4 protected, and 3 seconds. Now, when we look at the guys we sent out, Russ is a negative asset. He like addition by subtraction. I think we're better just for not having him.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Kendrick Nunn was out of the rotation. JTA was out of the rotation. Thomas Bryant was in the rotation, but he might be the worst. He might be the worst defensive big in basketball. I'm willing to say that. But he requested out. So shouts to him. But he was in the rotation. Damian Jones out of the rotation. A top 4 protected first and 3 seconds. We bought a second from Max Christie last year.
And Patrick Beverly. Oh,
and Pat Bev. I'm cool getting up off all of that. I'm okay.
No, yeah, I'm totally fine.
I'm cool getting up all of that. We added Rui Hachimura, D'Angelo Russell, Malik Beasley, Jared Vanderbilt.
Yes.
Devon Reed. Whatever. Mo Bamba.
Oh, that guy stinks.
Mo Bamba and 2 seconds. So we gave away 3 seconds. We got 2 back. We really only gave him 1 second. And so I just don't know. All right. So first of all, to just get through all the Lakers stuff, do we have to apologize to Rob Pelinka? Because I've been on record saying that I think he's the worst general manager of basketball. I think he deserves to be fired. We did our 23 things we're excited for in 2023. One of yours was you're excited for
fire Rob Pelinka.
One of yours is excited for him to be fired. Do we owe him an apology?
No, we don't. We don't. Because if we were capable of roster construction, why didn't we do it in the first place?
I think a lot of this deadline was him cleaning up mistakes.
Yeah, like why did we have to be the 13th seed to then start doing things that are productive? And why weren't we making these trades or these offers a month ago? Why weren't we making these trades or offers 2 weeks ago? Why were we doing this 6 weeks ago? Because guess what? The Jazz didn't want to win ever. Their front office had no inclination to be like, you know what? Yeah, let's ride this out and be the 7th seed. That's not what they wanted. They would have made a deal weeks ago. So do I owe Rob an apology? No, but do I need to give him his flowers for what he's done in the last 72 hours? Absolutely. I appreciate it. I'm glad. I don't have to be miserable and watch Laker basketball anymore.
Do you still want him fired at the end of the year?
Yes.
Okay, that's a hot take. I feel like Rob Pelinka is GM number 1 in the hearts of Laker fandom right now.
Yeah, he just earned it. He just earned it because he brought back D'Lo, which I don't even know if like Laker Nation as a whole is like as big of a D'Lo fan as you and I are. Because we're both D'Lo guys. That's our favorite player. Well, your favorite player is John Morant, but
no. My favorite player is D'Angelo Russell. Stop it. My favorite player is D'Angelo Russell.
Okay,
has been, always will be.
Okay. Anyways, so we're both D'Lo guys. I don't know if like Laker Nation is as D'Lo'd out as we are. But getting D'Lo back alone put Rob in my good graces for at least another 3 months. But after that, I'm done. I mean, like, and if we go into next offseason and he shits the bed again, like I'm totally done because that would be 3 in a row.
I don't think that I'm ready to say that I apologize to Rob Pelinka because when I was criticizing him, it was all deserved. Like nothing I said was wrong. He completely built a dog shit roster, which is why we had to turn over half of it at the deadline. And so I do say that I want to give them props because I feel like this deadline was a turning point in the philosophy and the mindset of the Lakers front office, in that we were so focused on cap space for so long,
Yeah.
and signing minimum guys and signing 1 year deal guys, and at the end of the offseason, I mean at the end of the season, having 3 people left on contract and having to just bring in these vet men mercenaries to play 1 year and basically have an entirely new roster, just complete roster turnover every single season. That leads to no continuity. And when guys like AD and LeBron go out, and these other guys get thrust into larger, roles, they don't know how to play together because they just got signed 20 days ago. But now, building a roster that, for the most part, I feel like at least some of these guys we're going to be bringing into next season. Like when AD and LeBron ultimately, inevitably miss a couple games, those guys will be able to step in and know how to play with each other. Like, and that goes a long way. Like knowing where this guy likes to catch the ball, knowing what this guy likes to do when this plays ran, which way he likes to cut, which passing lane he likes to jump. Like all of that shit that's all built into playing together for a long period of time. And for the last 3 seasons, the Lakers have not had that. And so I'm glad that Rob Pelinka and the Lakers really went away from the whole, let's only sign 1 year guys with expiring contracts so we can go after a star. Granted, I think they're still going for a star this offseason, but
Really?
I think they're going to try and sign and trade D'Lo for Kyrie, but because they're both done at the end of the year, and we can offer the 2023 first after the draft. So
yeah,
I
don't know.
I think we're going to try and do that inevitably. But regardless, I just think that I respect the shift in mindset. And so, yeah, I'm not apologizing to Rob Pelinka, but I think he did good this time. Now, the Lakers roster, Justice, what do you think about our roster, bro? What in your mind, what does the starting lineup look like to you?
In the ideal world, probably D'Lo. I think you've got to start Beasley. Just for the shooting of both of those guys. I mean, they're both top 25 shooters in the league this year at this point from the 3-point line, including their volume. I mean, Beasley's basically been 38% on 8 attempts for the last 3 years, right? 4 years, something like that. So just having Beasley there, I would prefer to go LeBron, Vando, AD. So as we know, AD doesn't love playing the 5. I personally don't want to start Mo Bamba, who is getting no clock.
Yeah, neither do I.
If he wants to come in and get me a block and shoot his 40% from the corner when we kick it out to him, that's fine. But that's not ideal. So to me, I would rather start Vando than Rui. I think Vando is probably a better defender. He's one of the better wing defenders in basketball, actually. On top of the fact that we already have the offense we need from D'Lo, Beasley, LeBron, AD. And Vanderbilt he's not idiot from 3. He can shoot it a little bit.
Yeah.
He's proven to be a good off-ball cutter, and plus the defensive upside of having him who could even play a small ball 5 if you needed him to. Vanderbilt would be my choice. But if they said we're going to start Rui, I wouldn't be mad at it because I liked what Rui's given us since he's gotten here.
Yeah, I really like Vando. I think that he provides something for us that we just don't have on the roster elsewhere, and a guy that can legitimately I think he's best served as a wing stopper, point of attack defender. I don't really want him defending bigs. Like I'm not really comfortable with him defending 5s. And the Jazz were having him do a lot of that. And, we saw his defensive numbers drop off, but putting him in front of, I would be decent with him in front of a guy like Kawhi, like a PG. I'm okay with putting him on them. Would I want him on someone like a Jokic and Embiid? No, I'm good with that. Or even like when you look at a team like the Cavs, like I would be fine putting him on Donovan Mitchell or Darius Garland. He has length, he has size, he has speed. I'm cool with him guarding anything 1 to 4, really, which is so good in terms of like our lineup versatility, because I really don't think we had anyone like that outside of AD, obviously, but he's really, we're using him for rim protection. He's not going out on the perimeter guarding guys unless we're getting switched, but really using him like that, I think is his best asset for us. As far as starting lineups, what I want to do is I would probably do D'Lo, Malik Beasley, LeBron, D'Lo, Malik Beasley, LeBron, Rui, AD. What I think Darvin Ham will do is D'Lo, Austin Reeves, LeBron, Rui, AD. I think he's going to end up starting Reeves.
No way.
I think he ends up starting.
No, because Reeves has to play with Schroeder, bro.
I think he ends up starting Reeves. I think Malik Beasley and Dennis Schroeder come off the bench. I think
He's
Dennis
an
Schroeder.
idiot.
I think Dennis Schroeder's in a prime position to like. This is what he's meant to be on our team. You know, like he's thrust into that 6-man role, lead that backup unit, like him coming off the bench with Russ and like being an off-ball guard. I don't think that's what he's meant to do.
Playing with Russ in general is kind of tough.
Yeah, so I'm glad we've got Dennis Schroeder in a role that I think he can really excel in. But yeah, I think that's where we go in terms of starting lineup. But I just think we have something for every. But like, granted, I don't think our defense is going to be amazing because like D'Lo's not really a plus defender. Malik Beasley plays absolutely no defense at all. And then Rui's not. He doesn't have great foot speed, but he's he has length. So I don't think we're great on defense, but Anthony Davis really kicks up for a lot of that. Like he picks up a lot of the slack on the defensive end. But I just feel like we have a lineup that can, if we want to go small, we can do that. If we want to go shooters, we can throw out D'Lo, LeBron, Malik Beasley, AD, and Rui, right? Or Austin Reeves if you want. None of like I think the worst shooting option right there is AD. And if you want to put him in the dunker spot, like that's he's not being guarded, like he's unguardable there. So that provides something that we just didn't have before. Like we traded all guys who were not playing for 3 or 4 rotational guys who are going to play. Like we now have a lineup that can actually generate legitimate spacing.
Yeah. So the flexibility and the way that the team is currently constructed and the ability it gives us to match up with different types of teams is exactly what I love about us. And if we are able to get in,
which is going to be hard,
but if we are able to get in, if we can find a way to string together some wins and get in, LeBron, AD, they have to start playing back-to-backs, all that, because the time is now. We've got to start making the push at this very moment.
Yeah, we have 27 games left. Tonight, after tonight, 26.
Yeah. So
and we're going to lose to the Bucks. So
100%. We're getting smoked out tonight. So if we're going to get in, the time is now. But if we're in, we're a problem.
I think I don't think any team wants to see us. I'm sorry.
No, like who wakes up and they're like, man, I can't wait to play LeBron and AD. I can't wait. And because LeBron and AD at separate times in the year, I mean, LeBron's looked like one of the 5 best players in basketball again for the last 2 months, probably.
AD was the MVP for like a month and a half.
AD had 4 weeks of being God himself. Yeah. And then you bring in a guy like D'Angelo, who's only gotten better, especially since the calendar year has turned. And his offensive efficiency is through the roof compared to the rest of his career.
He's having one of the best seasons of his entire career.
Yeah. And then we add in a guy like Malik Beasley, and then we bring in Vando, and then we've got Rui, and then we can throw Schroeder at you off the bench. So we have multiple lanes to go to score the basketball. We have multiple playmakers for probably the first time since LeBron's been here, like besides Rondo. But D'Angelo actually gives you the ability to play, make, and score. So
like teams have to fundamentally guard us differently. Like exactly. you can't guard us the same way you guarded us with Russell Westbrook. Like D'Angelo Russell can kill drop coverage. Like you're not playing drop versus D'Lo.
No,
like he has a floater. He can shoot over the top. Like you have to step. Like I'm sorry, teams, their scouting report for us completely changed.
And D'Lo's what, seventh amongst guards and finishing at the rim this year?
Yeah, he's having the best finishing season of his career. He's shooting the second best percentage from mid-range in the league, the 7th best percentage on layups. Like, what are we talking about? He's shooting career highs from the field, 3-point, 2-point, and the free throw line. When he was on our team, he wasn't that great of a free throw shooter. Now he's shooting 85%. Like, come on.
The only thing I'm worried about is that pressure of coming back. And if that's changing the way, like, because not everybody's meant for this. Especially playing with LeBron. Like, not only are you a Laker, you're coming to play with LeBron.
You went from nobody watching you on the Jazz to fucking nationally televised.
So now I need you to perform and meet the standard that we all think you've played at all year. You have to do it in a Laker uniform. So that's one of my bigger concerns because that's a real thing. Like people like the expectation of being a Laker alone and on top of being the expectation of being LeBron James' teammate is not for the weak-hearted. So I'm
Yeah,
worried about that just a little bit.
I'm really excited with all the pickups. Like Malik Beasley, I think we got guys that we got all the guys we got are guys that do something that no one else on our roster did prior. Like Malik Beasley is one of the best movement shooters in the league. Like being able to come off a screen, square up, and shoot right off the screen. No one on the Lakers was doing that prior to this trade.
Corey Brown, bro, what we talking about?
No, stop it. I cringe every time he makes a three. And so
Because
yeah,
it's going up again.
it's
If
going
he
up.
it's going up.
And so yeah, right now we kind of touched on it. The Lakers are the 13 seed. We're 25-30. We are we're a game and a half back of the no, we're 2 games back of the 10 seed. So the play-in, we are 4 games back of the 6 seed. I don't think there's a realm in which we don't like if we get in, we have to win the play-in. Like, I don't think we just get in, like, I don't think we get to the 6 seed in 26 games. And I know, and that's why I think it's going to be so hard because a lot of people are like, oh, we're only 2 games back. We're only 2 games back. Yeah, but we're the 13 seed. We're not 2 games back as the 9 seed, like we're not 2 games back of the 10 seed as the 11 seed, like there's 5 other teams that are also 2 games back. So not only do we have to outperform those teams, like those teams have to lose games. Like we could win 10
There are
straight.
teams in front of us, like the Jazz are in front of us.
The Jazz are in front of us. The Blazers are in front of us. The
Warriors
Blazers
stink. The Blazers stink right now.
And
they got worse. And they got worse.
I think the Thunder fall. I think the Jazz fall. I think the Blazers fall.
I don't know about the Thunder, brother. They're top 5 in offensive defense rating for the last month. So,
I'm saying I think we can outwin the Thunder, right? Like
I don't know. I think
we can outwin the Thunder in the last 26. I do. The Warriors obviously missing Steph for 4 to 5 weeks.
If I think this roster can contend, I have to say we can outwin the Thunder.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I can't sit here and be like, yeah, maybe we can't. It's so hard to get out of the it's so hard to get out of the mindset I've been in for the last 2 years as a Laker fan of like tempering my expectations.
I think this is the best roster we've had since the championship season.
Like, but is it a better roster than the championship roster?
I can't say that. that team was dominant before the bubble.
Yeah, it was.
That team was insanely dominant before the bubble.
But it's a bubble championship. Shut up, bro.
I said that on Twitter. I'm starting to measure whether or not you know basketball by your opinion on the bubble chip. Like, if you think it was a bullshit championship, I can't talk basketball with you. Like, simple as that.
Good, because the qualification over the last 2 months has been if you think Nick Claxton is good or not. And it's like, no, we all understand. We all see the advanced stats. He's NBA Twitter's darling right now. Everybody loves Nick Claxton.
Everybody loves this Nick Claxton. But yeah, do you think the Lakers are contenders, Justice? Do you think that this version of the Lakers can legitimately win an NBA championship this season? Keep in mind, they're the 13th seed right now, and we just said the 4-seeded Mavs can't win this chip.
Okay, it's all dependent upon if they can get in.
Let's say they get in. Do you think
if they get in, they can win?
So are they contenders? I want to hear you give
Yes, if they get in, they will contend. They will contend.
The Lakers probably.
I can tell you right now, if we get in and we're the 8, we're playing Denver. I'm taking us.
I like my chances.
I'm taking us.
Bro, and the Lakers propaganda is at an all-time high because I think we're contenders too. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
I do. I think we could win the chip this season, which is crazy.
Insane
to say. And I know people are gonna listen to this and be like, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
We're homers.
I swear, I think we can win the chip. I also wanted to say, like,
I need to see the team play. I need to see them work.
Saturday is gonna be big. Has there ever been this much talent in the West? Like, there's one final spot for Nikola Jokic, Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Zion Williamson, Cat, Steph, Dame, LeBron, AD, like all of
and that's without naming like Anthony Edwards, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins, like
Brandon Ingram, like
Brandon. CJ McCollum, like,
Chris Paul, like
guys. Like, we're not even naming those guys.
Like the West is loaded, bro.
Well, the NBA is much more talented than it's ever been. So to say, like, has there ever been this much talent in the West? I mean, there were years that it was KG, Dirk, Kobe, all these guys, Shaq, and God, probably not. In at least in the last, I don't know, 10 years maybe. Probably not. Because I mean, how many of the top 20 players in the NBA are on this side or on the West now?
I don't know. At least I would without going off the dome, I'd say at least
LeBron.
10 to 12.
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
Okay.
We can do it. All right. Let's let me pull up the Western Conference standings so I
This
can
is
really
going on
get
TikTok, so we're gonna start. You're gonna ask me, and then we're gonna go through it.
Oh, okay. Okay. All
Nah,
right.
off the dome, I would say probably
I got
12.
you.
I'm gonna say 12.
All right. So you think 12?
I say 12.
12 of the top 20 guys are in the West.
I
Nikola
wouldn't say so.
Jokic,
Yes, that's one.
John Morant,
2.
Sabonis.
I would say Sabonis is top 20. 3. I don't know. He
Nah,
might be
that's
right
a
on the
stretch.
edge.
Get him out. Get him out.
Yeah,
Get him out.
yeah,
Get him
yeah,
out. Get him
that's
out.
2. That's 2.
Fox. No, right?
No.
Luka,
3,
Kyrie,
4,
Kevin Durant,
5,
Devin Booker,
6,
Kawhi Leonard,
7.
Paul George.
Is Paul George top 20?
Yeah.
8,
Zion Williamson.
9.
Okay. Carl Towns,
I don't know if I can say Cat is top 20.
which is crazy. Okay. Carl Towns, Anthony Edwards, no. Steph Curry,
10,
Damian Lillard.
11. Did you
Uh,
say Anthony Davis?
I haven't got there yet. Give me a second. Damn.
Okay.
Laurie
That's 11.
Markkinen,
No.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
12,
LeBron,
13,
Anthony Davis.
14.
That's where I'll draw the line because the Spurs and Rockets got nothing to offer me currently.
14 of the top 20 players in the NBA are in the West. That's crazy.
But now I got to look at the East and see if that's actually true.
Okay. Go
Because if I
through it.
look at the East, Tatum.
So how many spots do we have? 6 spots?
Yeah, Tatum.
Okay, so that's 1,
Giannis,
2,
Embiid,
3.
Garland.
I would say
but
Mitchell. I would say 4.
Jimmy Butler.
No.
Bam.
No.
No, the Nets have nobody anymore. Brunson, Randall, no.
Trae Young. 5.
Trae Young, yeah. Levine,
No.
DeRozan.
No. I guess I'd say Jimmy Butler. I guess that's 6. If we had to find one more in the top 20,
Van Vliet.
No. The Raptors have nobody. The Wizards have nobody.
Pascal.
I would.
If I had to take one, I'm taking Pascal.
I'd take Pascal. Okay, so there's our 6. Halliburton, no.
LaMelo,
No.
Sadiq Bey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a hawk. So,
That's crazy.
yeah. So there's 14 of the top 20 players in the NBA in the West. That's a banger TikTok. So I guess we could kind of.
But all year it's been the East is like insane loaded, and now all their All-Star starters are in the West.
They packed it up. Yeah. Who are the All-Star starters? KD and Kyrie both in the West.
Yeah,
and Embiid stayed, Donovan Mitchell stayed, and Giannis
Tatum
stayed.
No, it was Giannis. Tatum's not starting.
Embiid wasn't starting.
Oh yeah, Embiid didn't start.
Tatum stayed.
Embiid didn't start the All-Star game. He averaged
no.
30 and 13.
Yeah, and Anthony Davis didn't make it, but Jaren Jackson did. Whatever.
Did we get the injury replacements yet?
I don't think so. But I mean,
I need Fox, bro.
They have to replace KD. They have to replace Jaylen Brown. They have to replace
Luka. That's a rumor that Luka's not going to play.
I wouldn't be. He doesn't give a fuck about it. They'll replace KD, Jaylen Brown, Zion, and I think that's it. KD, Jaylen Brown, Zion.
So Fox is in.
Fox is definitely in. Yeah. The next big move. Well, not big, but the next move that actually did something was the Knicks and the Blazers. The Knicks traded for Josh Hart, reunited the Villanova guys, him and Jalen Brunson, for Cam Reddish, finally free on the Blazers. Wish the Lakers could have got him, but it is what it is. Ryan Arcidiacono, Svi Mykhailiuk, and a 2023 lottery protected first. What do you think about this deal, Justice?
Shout out Svi.
Shout out Svi.
Reeves before Reeves.
Yeah.
What do I think about this deal? I don't even necessarily think it's free Cam Reddish because I don't think they're going to play Cam Reddish. Like, I
No,
just
me
have an
neither.
expectation of whatever team trades for Cam Reddish has no intention of playing him.
Yeah.
Like, whoever he's going to play for, he's going to play at practice. And
Yeah, I
that's
think
it.
the incentive was getting a first for Josh Hart, and they were like,
Yeah,
"All right, take him."
it is Cam Reddish.
Yeah.
So, uh, yeah, so it's not free Cam Reddish till it's backwards or anything like that. Like,
Yeah,
it just is
yeah,
what it
yeah.
is. So if I had to say anything about this trade, I think that getting Josh Hart makes the Knicks fine. Like, they're still
Mhm.
fine. I mean, they're not better than the top 3 teams. And if anything, the guys who have left the East have made the East that much more closed. Like, it's a 3-team race at this point.
Okay, so I think for the Knicks, this actually worked out pretty pretty well for them. Like I like this pickup for them. Josh Hart plays hard. He already has built-in chemistry with Jalen Brunson. Obviously, he's probably the best rebounding guard that we've seen in a while, or if not the best, one of the best rebounding guards. Um, and yeah, I don't think that it's a like I feel like it's a margin move for them. I think they were shooting for the stars, trying to get guys like OG Anunoby, Zach Levine. Like they're always in those conversations. I think that would have moved the needle for them, but I don't think they were ready to come up off RJ. I also don't think they were ready to come up off however many picks Masai was asking for. And so I think they
Insane.
yeah, and so we'll get to them later. And so I think that this was probably the best they could do at the deadline. And I don't think it was a bad move for them. Like a 2023 lottery protected first, uh, 2 guys that didn't play for them. Well, 3 guys that didn't play for them, and a 2023 lottery protected first for a guy that's almost indefinitely going to be in the rotation. Like that's a win-win for the Knicks. So I think that
I,
was a good.
I just think that sometimes holding on to first when you can't win a championship, because Josh Hart, there's no way that front office is sitting there like, yeah, we can win a championship this year.
No,
And to me, those first are very valuable. So why
well, at least
not
they
wait?
lottery protected it though. Like if it falls inside the top 15, then of top 14, then we're good. They get the first back.
Yeah, but what's the chance that happens?
I don't know. I mean, right now they're 7 seed in the East, so they're 7 seed. They're 3 games back of the Nets in the 5 seed. So you got to think the Nets fall at least a little bit after
The Nets
these.
low key have like a decent roster.
I think they
Still.
still make the playoffs. I think they still make the play. They're 10 games over 500. They would have to be insanely bad over the next 20.
They're gonna get smoked out by
25
whoever.
plus games.
But
They'd have to be horrible for them to not make the playoffs.
who's their number one option now? Cam Thomas? Is it staying that way, or are we saying Mikal Bridges or
I
Ben
would
Simmons?
imagine Mikal Bridges is their number one. Like
What is that?
I don't know. I think if Cam Thomas is dropping 40 a night, then I don't see how you take the ball out of his hands. But I think they envision Mikal Bridges being like their guy moving forward, which I don't know how much you're getting out of that, but
Good luck.
Good luck.
Fellas.
And so yeah, all in all, I think it was a decent move for the Knicks. The Raptors ended up trading for Jakob Poeltl. They moved Kem Birch, 2024 first round protected pick, and 2 future seconds to the Spurs. Around this point is when I knew that the Raptors weren't trading any of their guys, because you don't go and trade a first for Jakob Poeltl if you're not trying to continue to win this season.
No, the funniest thing is that
You're muted.
I'm muted.
Oh, you were. Were you saying something?
Yeah, no, I was muted for a second because I farted. I didn't know what it was gonna be like.
Oh shit! Nah, you good. I respect it.
So, anyways, the funniest thing is that they overvalued their guys who are just gonna be free agents.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think Masai like gets caught up. I don't know. He was trying to fleece teams. And I think when you ask the rest of the NBA, like, who's the top 5 GMs in the league? Like, everyone says Masai. And I think that means something to him. And so I think he wanted he couldn't let the perception be that they lost the deal. And so pride be damned. He was not trading that.
I'm losing all of you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'd rather lose you all because they're not good now, right? So why would you then go and commit long-term money to guys who already aren't winning you that many games? Because right now they're the 10 seed. They're 4 games below 500. And going into the offseason, Pascal will be next season is the last year of Pascal's contract. Fred VanVleet has a player option. He's opting out. So he'll be an unrestricted free agent. Gary Trent, player option. He's opting out, unrestricted free agent. That's 2 of your starters that you've got to pay at that point. OG Anunoby, he's under contract next year, the year after the player option. He's going to opt out. And then you're going to have to pay him.
He might demand a trade.
I wouldn't be shocked.
They've been throwing him around for a year. So
I just don't know. OG Anunoby, I get wanting to keep because he's technically still under contract for another year. So cool. But not trading Gary Trent when you know you're not going to bring him back. Like, why? Why? Because you couldn't not get 3 firsts for Gary Trent. Like, just move him because it's horrible asset management. If like at this point, you have to re-sign him. Or you made a colossal mistake. What's the point in not trading if you know you're not going to re-sign him? The same with Fred VanVleet. Are you re-signing Fred VanVleet? He has a player option for $22 million. If he opts out of that, he's obviously going to want more than. Are you paying Fred VanVleet $22 million a year? No.
Somebody will,
but the Raptors aren't. So why would you not trade him? Because you didn't want to move him unless you got 2 firsts. Like, come on, like, what are we doing? He overthought it, bro. Like, you don't have to fleece every deal to still be considered a top 5 GM. Like, just move. It's prime asset management, bro. Pascal, I understand not moving. I think Pascal's a guy that's worth 3 or 4 firsts. But
3 or 4.
Well, when we talk about KD I think he's worth 3. I would give up 3 firsts for Pascal.
The Lakers, if we had 3 firsts, and they're like, yeah, you can get Pascal, you would have given them 3 firsts.
I don't know if I would give him if I'm the Lakers. I think it's easy to say when it's not my team.
Yeah.
I would give up 2 firsts, but I don't think it's crazy to ask for 3 firsts.
No, it's not. Pascal, no, it's not. Yeah,
for Pascal. But like asking for 2 firsts for Gary Trent and Fred VanVleet is crazy. Like they're free agents. What are we talking about? I could just sign them in 3 months. Like, what are we doing?
I'm gonna talk on to my picks and offer him $15 million in 2 months. Yeah. First of all, Fred VanVleet's gonna be a part of the Miami Heat.
They almost had him.
Put it in stone. He's gonna be a Heat next year.
They almost had him, but Pat Riley was sleeping. So
is that what the deal was?
I don't think that was the one. It was like a deal with the Clippers, and I don't know what the deal was.
Something with Kyle Lowry. I know that.
They couldn't get no, it was something weird. It was the Clippers. The Clippers were going to get Fred VanVleet, but they wanted Terrence Mann, and the Clippers said no. So they ended up getting Bones Highland, Eric Gordon, and Mason.
No, that's a good haul. They got in good pieces. If the asking price to get Fred VanVleet and you're trying to win a championship is
Terrence Mann,
is Terrence Mann, you say yes.
Clippers said not on my watch, brother.
I did this with Shea.
They said I'm gonna take this nice 2 seconds to go get Bones Highland, take another, get Eric Gordon, get Luke Kennard up out of here. The overall for the Raptors, I think that they made a mistake by not moving their assets.
Are they the biggest losers of the trade deadline?
I think them and the Bulls. The Bulls didn't really do anything, and they're currently the 9 seed. 26.
They did literally nothing, right?
I don't think they did anything. Like the Heat, I don't think the Heat did. Oh, they traded Dwayne Dedmon, but like I don't really think they did it.
Why do you say Dedmon like you're Jamaican? Like
is it Dedmon? Is it Dwayne?
I think it's Dedmon, but you're making me think it's It's Dedmon.
Hey, whatever it is. Dwayne Dedmon, yeah, they traded him, but the Bulls didn't do anything, I don't think.
Wait, Naj.
What?
Did you say Svi's last name?
Svi Mikhailuk.
I would never knew how to say his last name.
Yeah, I think it's Svi Mikhailuk. Yeah, shout out to him. You know, I'm a real fan over here.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Nah, it got hot in my room.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, for the Bulls, I don't know. Another team that was just bad asset management. Like Nikola Vucevic is an expiring contract. He's a free agent after this season. Why not move him? You know, like why not move him? Alex Caruso would have netted you a first from some team. You're not competitive. Like you're not competing. You might as well move Alex Caruso. And so, yeah, I don't know what they were really doing.
But don't they think they're contenders now because of Durant and everybody leaving the East?
I mean, they do, but are they going to contend? Like, I think you have to be self-aware in situations like that. Like, look at this roster. Are we going to win the championship? No. Like, you have to be self-aware and know that you're not winning the chip. And then you can move guys like Alex Caruso, go get a first. The Warriors were willing to give up a first for Alex Caruso. Go get a first from the Warriors for Alex Caruso. Go trade. Granted, I wanted Zach LaVine on the Lakers. So, and they didn't want to move him. But I understand him not moving Zach LaVine. But DeMar DeRozan, Alex Caruso, Nikola Vucevic, they shouldn't be Bulls. They shouldn't be Bulls. The next big trade was the biggest of all the trades, actually. It was Mr. Kevin Durant. What was that happened at like 1 a.m? It was like
1:13 is when I got my notification.
It was like 1:13 in the morning. KD, TJ Warren go to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, 4 firsts in 2023, 2025, 2027, and 2029. So basically every other year, they have the Suns first and a 2028 first round swap. And so what do you think? What do you think, bro? KD is now a Phoenix Sun. He joins, and they didn't have to give up Chris Paul. They didn't have to give up Ayton. They gave
How do you
up,
not give up Ayton?
I don't know how you don't give up Ayton. It's pretty crazy to not give up Ayton, to not give up CP3. You now have Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, I guess Torrey Craig, and
well, I don't know what's happening to your left, but your eyes you're ready for whatever's going on.
Christy's bullshitting right now. She's say hi.
Hey,
what's up, dude?
KD goes to the Suns. TJ Warren goes to the Nets. Nope. Ah! KD and TJ Warren go to the Suns.
Yes.
Get Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, Jay Crowder, all those first we talked about. What is your opinion on the trade?
I can't believe TJ Warren just got thrown in. I feel like you could move him for another asset somewhere. I don't know what it looks like completely, but it definitely helped Phoenix to get another wing back in TJ Warren after losing 2 of them. The only concern I have is, well, one, you get Kevin Durant, so it's a win. When you trade for a guy like Kevin Durant, it just is that's a win. The only thing you worry about is health. If him and Chris Paul can make it through a playoff run. But outside of that, you worry about depth. Like, I don't really know, unless this buyout market hits super hard, I don't know what Phoenix does from a depth standpoint from here.
They can go get Russ. They can go get John Wall. They go get Reggie Jackson.
I hope they get all 3.
They can go get Reggie Jackson.
They can have every one of them.
Will Barton, maybe.
There are places that I think Russ would actually be good at.
I want him to go to the Clippers. I want to play it. I want to play Russ. We're going to back up. Go ahead, my
Just
boy.
disrespect him the whole like we did.
Go ahead, shoot that midi off the backboard.
How hard is he going at LeBron the first time he sees it?
They're gonna, you know how him and KD got into like that face to face shit.
LeBron's not gonna do that with him.
LeBron's not doing it, but he's gonna get static. Like, he's gonna be tighter than us, which is well deserved.
No, it is. No, it definitely is.
Well deserved, but I can't wait. I wish we still had Pat Bev. They would definitely go at it after just being 100%. Teammates. Like, they would 100% go at it.
But back to Phoenix, man. They have the best starting lineup in basketball, so that's always something you consider. I mean, Chris Paul is not Chris Paul he was even last year, but he's still one of the 6 best playmakers in the NBA. You get a scorer like Book and a scorer like KD on the same page.
That's unfair.
Yeah. And on top of that, both those guys, as great as scorers as they are, both capable and willing playmakers. Mm-hmm. KD developed that in Golden State and really took it to another level whenever he got to Brooklyn. And Booker's always been a capable passer. And so you move on from there, and it's kind of like you tweeted, like, you can just throw whoever at the 4. I don't know what that looks like, who it's going to be.
They probably have the best starting 5 in all of basketball, regardless of whoever the 4 is.
Yeah. And then you have DeAndre Ayton, who I don't know how he doesn't get thrown in that deal at that point, but shout out to the Suns for somehow holding on to DeAndre Ayton, because I'm sure at this point, when you get Kevin Durant back, DeAndre Ayton's happy to be there.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think with the Nets, I think one, disastrous. That the whole Big 3 era for them, disastrous.
Terrible.
They got fleeced for Harden and then didn't really get anything back for Harden. and then had to trade Kyrie for Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith, and then ended up trading KD for less picks than Rudy Gobert went for, and and now here they are with a bunch of wings. Disastrous stretch for the Nets. But yeah, I think they wanted to send KD somewhere that he wanted to be. Like they did him a favor sending him to the Suns. Apparently, there was no other teams. Like they didn't open it up to any other teams. They didn't say like, "Hey, KD's on the block. What's your best offer?" They just went to the Suns and were like, "Hey, KD wants to be here. What do you like? Let's make a trade." Which is crazy when you're supposed to be the team with all the leverage in that scenario.
Yeah, 100%.
To go hit up James Jones and be like, "Hey, what do you got for me?" Like, go ahead and accept whatever they said is that's horrible. But they want to do KD a favor, so they send him here, and that's a tough. I think they've got to be the favorites out the West. I just don't know. I don't think it's a big three because I think Chris Paul is drastically diminished as a player in the last season. D Book, any team that has D Book as your second option is an insane team. An insane team. Do you think if they win the chip, it puts any sort of tarnish on Kevin Durant's legacy?
Yeah.
Because as of right now, he didn't get it done with the Thunder, right? They went and got smoked out by Braun when all the young Thunder made it to that chip. You then you blow a 3-1 lead to the Warriors. You then go join the Warriors. You win 2 chips, Finals MVP both times. And then you go to the Nets, which is supposed to be your team with Kyrie. That's an utter disaster. And now you request
beginning to end.
And now you request a trade to a team that was in the finals 2 years ago and the conference finals last year. And so it's like they didn't really need you to make the final. They've made a finals run as pretty much currently constructed. And they made a Western Conference Finals run. Like they've been good for the last 2 years. You go and join that team. Like, does that impact his legacy at all if they were to go and win the chip?
I don't think winning a championship never can negatively impact your legacy. I think that as much as we throw shade at KD for being a part of the Warriors, like at the end of the day, him winning 2 championships boosted his place amongst all-time greats.
I respect. He has no shame. He is absolutely.
He could care less.
He could give a fuck. Yeah.
I love that he just wants to play basketball with people who are good at basketball.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's like, I don't care what anybody in the world thinks about me. I don't care if you think I'm better than LeBron. I don't care if you think I'm better than Jordan. I'm better than you at basketball.
Yeah. He looked at that team with Cam Thomas dropping 40 and said, "Nope, get me out."
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
Get me out.
I'm not doing this. So he skedaddled, and good for him. I'm glad Brooklyn abided by it because if anything, KD stuck with them longer than I think most superstars would in that situation. Like I think if we had another year like this next year with LeBron, he would have been like, okay, like somebody get me up out of here.
Yeah.
And I think KD was in due time. I think this offseason it was justified, especially after the Kyrie things. And I thought him wanting out was justified. And I think that him wanting out now is justified. So I have no problem with him wanting to leave. Do I think that am I not excited to watch him jog to a championship again? Like if need be, if they're healthy, then no. But it is what it is. Do you think
the Suns are the favorites?
I got to see what they do in the buyout to fill out the rest of the roster because what a campaign and Torrey Craig and these guys, like that's not doing it for me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like KD and Booker can do a lot, but I mean, our depth is better than theirs right now.
Yeah, I think with the 3-star build, or at least that's clearly what they're going for. The thing that always takes a hit is the depth, and like that's cool. Your starting lineup can be really good, but those guys all eventually have to sit. And when your second unit comes in, obviously you stagger your top 4 guys' minutes, but when that second unit comes in and you're getting blown off the court, it's tough. Also, when these guys like Chris Paul is 37 years old, 38 years old, however old he is,
37, yeah,
37 years old, like, and he's already missed time. Like he hasn't been healthy in these playoff runs. Like we can't expect him to just be healthy. When Chris Paul misses time, who's your starter? Campaign now. Okay. D Book is coming back from injury. I don't think he's injury prone by any means. Like I think he's the one that you're most confident in stays healthy for the run. DeAndre Ayton, Say what you want. Sometimes he wants to be there. Sometimes he doesn't want to be there. And KD, who's struggled with injury over the past couple of years, like, can they all stay healthy? And when those guys aren't healthy, you've now lost a lot of what made you the Suns. Like, a lot of what made you the Suns was, and what made you one of the best teams in the West is that you had guys like Mikal Bridges, wing stoppers, Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, guys like that. Hell, Jay Crowder last season, guys like that, competent 3-and-D wings that could match up with damn near any team. And now you just don't really have that. And so I think it's okay to say, and I believe they're probably the favorites to come out the West just because of how much pure firepower they have. But I don't know. I don't know if they're my championship favorites. I don't think so.
They're not my championship favorites.
No.
Currently they're not my Western Conference favorites, but it's just like I was talking about. I mean, if you told me that they come out of the West, I'm not shocked.
Yeah.
Like, they have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker. Like, I mean, it is what it is.
Exactly. We go moving on to the East. The big move for the Bucks was Jay Crowder. They got Jay Crowder. They gave up 5 seconds. 5 seconds for Jay Crowder. It was a 3-team deal, actually. Jay Crowder went to the Bucks. Brooklyn got 2 seconds, and Indiana got Jordan Nwora, George Hill, Serge Ibaka, who they bought out, and 3 seconds. So there you go. Does Jay Crowder to the Bucks do anything for you?
Absolutely not. I mean, I haven't watched him play in 7 months.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to make judgment on what he even looks like right now. He's gonna have to work some rust off, I'm sure.
Do you think 5 seconds was a lot to give up for him?
Yeah, I think
seconds are flying.
I mean, everybody was just sending them out the door like they don't mean anything because the Lakers bought one. So I guess you can just buy second round picks, like whatever. I got it in the budget.
Exactly. You might as well.
So I don't know. Does Jay help if he's what he was in Phoenix? Yeah. I mean, you get a guy who can defend and shoot the 3 and has played in big games, which you like to see.
Also, that little dog mentality, he'll start a fight. You feel me?
I don't give anything. Whatever. All these start a fight dudes ain't never helped me win nothing. I mean, Patrick Beverly didn't do shit but get us to the 13th seed. So dog mentality didn't help the Lakers. No, it is what it is. If the Bucks win, it's because Giannis Antetokounmpo is the best player in the world. So it's not because Jay Crowder signed there. It's because Giannis and Chris Middleton got back on track and Drew Holiday kept playing at the level he's played at all season. And that's how they win a championship. It's got nothing to do with Jay Crowder signing.
Agreed. The Lakers and the Nuggets made a deal. Nuggets got Thomas Bryant. Lakers got Devon Reed in 3 seconds. It was good for the Lakers to recoup some second round picks after trading a couple of them out. And Thomas Bryant requested a trade from the Lakers. He felt like he wasn't getting proper minutes behind AD. And, with these guys coming in, he felt like he might be out of the rotation. Lakers abided by his trade to the number 1 team in the West. So if you weren't getting minutes behind AD, I don't know you're going to get the minutes behind Jokic, but it is what it is. It is what it is. The Nuggets have been looking for a backup big for as long as I can remember.
I can't believe they didn't go Plumlee.
So they got Thomas Bryant. Yeah, Plumlee. That was such a great pickup for the Clippers. We talked about the Sixers got Jalen McDaniels. Portland got Matisse Thybulle. I don't think that moves the needle for anything. Jalen McDaniels, I do think is a good pickup for them, but I don't think that's going to be the difference between them winning and losing the chip. One of the weirder trades was a four-teamer between Detroit, Atlanta, Golden State, and Portland. Detroit got James Wiseman, who they intend to start, apparently. Atlanta got Sadiq Bey. Golden State got Gary Payton back.
Interesting. And he rehabbed in Portland.
Yes. And then they could have just paid him in the offseason, but whatever. Portland got 5 seconds and Kevin Knox. So yeah, the Blazers got 5 seconds for Gary Payton. They got the same amount of seconds as they gave for as the Bucks gave for Jay Crowder. For Portland, I don't think it did too much. Golden State, they got GB2 back. I think they needed a guy like that. I think he just kind of fits with their culture. It makes sense for them. Atlanta getting Sadiq Bey, I think that's a good pickup for them. I'm not gonna lie.
He's been bad this year, though.
He has been bad, but I think that for the Pistons, why do you do that? What's the incentive there? You have Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren, Marvin Bagley.
That was my question. Is Duren has shown potential already?
He's only 19.
So wait, what did we bring James Wiseman in just to further crowd our front court? You've got to pick somebody eventually.
You have Bagley, Isaiah Stewart, Jalen Duren. What do you need James Wiseman for? You're talking about starting James Wiseman? Why?
And we used a lotto pick on Jalen Durant, correct?
Yeah.
So what are we doing? I don't understand. Why are we just loading up on centers, which is the most replaceable position in basketball right now, like in terms of like finding production.
I don't know why. I have no clue why they did that. That made no sense to me. And then the next couple moves are the Clippers were busy. They traded the Nugget. They got Bones Highland for 2 second-round picks.
Crazy.
They got Mason Plumlee for Reggie Jackson in the second. So they replaced Bones Highland. They replaced Reggie Jackson and John Wall with Bones Highland, which I'm cool with that. And then they got Eric Gordon in 3 seconds for Luke Kennard, John Wall. It was a 3-teamer. The Grizzlies got Luke Kennard, which I think that was a low key pick.
That's good
for the Grizzlies. Yeah, it was a nice little sniper for them. The Rockets got John Wall, who they're going to buy out, and Danny Green, who they're also probably going to buy out, and a 2023 first round swap. So whatever. The Clippers got Eric Gordon in 3 seconds. So they replaced John Wall, Reggie Jackson, and Luke Kennard with Eric Gordon, Bones Highland, Mason Plumlee. The Clippers are one of the winners of the deadline to me.
Yeah, they are.
They got it. They just got better. Yeah, that sucks. Hopefully they sign Russ or fuck it all up. But yeah, they definitely got better. Mason Plumlee is vastly overrated. Like he was hooping for the Hornets. I'm sorry. People just look at him and be like, oh, he can't play ball. Nah, he was hooping for the Hornets. Yeah. And so to get him for some seconds, that's cool. Eric Gordon, I don't think is as good of a pickup as like everyone wants to believe, but I think he's viable. And Bones Highland, I think he fits what they want to do there. So good for the Clippers. I definitely think they got better. Right now, they are I want to say they're like the 6th seed. Right now, yeah, the 6th seed. They're like 4 games over 500. When you look, the 4 seed Mavericks got Kyrie, the 5 seed Suns got KD, the 6 seed Clippers got an infinitely better bench. Like, I don't see how
the 13 seed Lakers got to get the boy.
Yeah, exactly. And that was really the biggest moves to come out of the deadline. So overall, I think winners were Clippers, Suns, Lakers, and I want to say the Bucks, because Jay Crowder for some seconds is what it is. Like he's a viable NBA player, and you didn't really have to give up anything to get him. So yeah, I think those are probably the winners of the deadline. The losers, I would say probably like the Pelicans, the Grizzlies,
the Pels, Josh Richardson.
Pels, oh yeah, they did get Josh Richardson, which is a good pickup, but like we were talking about OG Anunoby for them. So you know, I just think they didn't really do much while the rest.
They just got to get healthy, man.
Yeah, the rest of the West just got really a lot better. And then the Celtics didn't really do much, but they currently have the best record in basketball. They picked up Mike Muscala, but overall a crazy NBA trade deadline. We're going to go through the All-Star break, and then we're getting into the last stretch of the NBA season, which is crazy to think that the NBA season has every team has to play less than 30 games.
I'm not with that, bro.
That's crazy. Shit flew by. Super Bowl on Sunday. We already said who we want to win. And just remember, the Lakers are winning the chip. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Run It Up podcast on Apple Podcasts. Download on Spotify. Leave the 5-star ratings and reviews. Make sure you go do all that TikTok shit Justice said to get those trading cards, my boy. He going to post it on Twitter too. So you're doing a little giveaway. Follow me on Twitter at @NajAdams_. Justice on Twitter at JustFitted. Shout out Khalil. Follow him on Twitter at Balil44. And I hope you'll have a litty day. A litty night. Oh, follow us on TikTok too at the Run It Up podcast. I hope you have a litty day, a litty night, a litty life. And just like we do on every episode of this podcast, make sure y'all go run it up.
Run it up.